Coming to a last point, one of the last points maybe, strategy. I find in your profile that you deal with strategy. What do you do? Which kind of strategies? What do you do with strategy?
Yes. Strategy is, for some people who want to become a consultant, that seems to be the kind or the field of consultancy that you do strategies for companies. I also think strategic approaches of a company, they deal with the major questions a company has to deal with, and it's also the interface between the market and the organizations. How do you approach the market? How do you look at your competitors? How can you have a competitive advantage in your sector? These are all questions I'm very much interested in, and I think to deal with this, you also are dealing with the top people of the organization, which is also very interesting and always fun to work in that arena. What I do in strategy is I'm not a specialist in certain sectors. I have some experience in automotive industry. I have some experience in service industries and in logistics, but I would not say I'm the sector expert or so. But what I understand quite well is the strategic impact and also some strategic tools and how they play together and how important it can be to use one or the other tool to make sense of your action and to also explain to others why you're doing certain things and why you're acting in a certain way, why you're choosing to go in a certain direction, and to explain that to others. For this, it can be very useful to have some tools at hand. And one project I did 2 years ago was with a big automotive supplier, one of the world market players. They had in one division, they had many dealerships bought in M&A situations over the last 5 to 8 years, and they had been active in 12 different European countries, and now they wanted to have an integrated strategy approach that all their strategic planning and also their instruments had been a little bit more harmonized, that the Czech people did more or less similar things like the Norwegians and the Swiss and the Spanish and the Germans. So we looked into the situation and said, what are they doing? Who is far ahead? Who is a little bit behind? And then we had to find a certain process, how the strategic planning process would work, and how you also implement that into your daily business. And I helped them with this. We had many different tools investigated and tried to find out which would be usable or which would be appropriate for this particular organization, which can be made understood, because not all of the involved people had been academics. Some of them, they had been normal workers, and also for them it must be understandable which way to go and which kind of tool to use and which order. So I helped them to create this system for themselves. And just recently I sent my birthday greetings to the head of this organization union. I asked him, how's it going? He said, this is now our regular process. We have implemented that in all our different divisions and countries, and it's working quite well. So that is kind of a feedback I like to hear, because it showed obviously something has happened which was for their benefit and which added value. And this is what my task is, to add value to others.
If you would have 10 seconds to tell me what is cogitamus about, what would you say?
Cogitamus tries to help other people to think together what is apart so far, to have a holistic view on your task and to include external and internal aspects into one common approach. That is what cogitamus tries to do in the consultancy work.
If cogitamus would be a color, we know it's green. If cogitamus would be a plant.
A plant.
A plant.
I think a rose would represent what cogitamus tries to do. Sometimes it's not easy to touch it because it has these little sticky parts on the stem, and sometimes you have to put gloves on, or sometimes you have to be very careful where you touch it. But on the other hand, it smells very well. It has many different colors, not only red, you can also have a blend of different other colors. It has different heights. Sometimes they're little rose bushes, sometimes you have big plants. I think they grow in different parts of the world. Our first chancellor, he loved roses very much. There's even an Adenauer rose, as far as I understand. So for him, that was kind of recreational work to deal with roses and to work with this beauty on the one hand, but also the danger that you can hurt if you touch at the wrong part. And somehow I could say a rose would represent cogitamus quite well.
Mm-hmm. If cogitamus would be a song or music direction, musical. If cogitamus would be a music,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of music?
Well, the basic music is rock and roll, and this is what I like most. But on the other hand, sometimes it also has to be a ballad. Sometimes it could be a love song.
Mm-hmm.
And if it would be a musical, then it also includes the music, the dance, the singing. And I like musicals very much. And during the time I was in the US, we lived in New Jersey, and it was a little less than an hour's drive to Broadway. So my wife and myself, we went very often to Broadway, spent a lot of money for parking tickets because parking in the theater district is not very cheap. But it was well worth it to go there and to get the tickets and to watch many musicals. So these different aspects of art, of performing art in one piece, like a musical, including how to make the stage and how to design the whole piece, and the music and the dance and the singing, that is something which I like very much. And one musical, Riverdance, I think that showed the perfection of the dancers to the point. They danced, I think, 15 in one row. That was so perfect and so professional, but on the other hand, it was very individual. And this is representing also the values that I see in my company and I want to live. So Riverdance was one of the musicals that would fit into representing cogitamus.
Mm-hmm. So, what needs to be said? What
Maybe
is missing?
just shut up for a while would be a good thing. I talked so much, and just to listen or to think or to enjoy stillness for a while could be a good part of an interview.